If your comic shop experienced some difficulties placing orders for new comics and maybe they didn't even receive comics this week, it might be due to a ransomware attack. We're going to talk about that along with some other topics right ahead. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is Comics Today, and I do believe that this is our 50th episode of the show. And during this show, we're going to talk about some news and some current events, some of which I literally just found out about a few moments ago as I was preparing to go on air. The ransomware thing popped up, and so I will talk about that here in a hot moment. I do want to say thank you to everyone out there that actually placed an order for the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting over the last few days. I went to sleep last night to some sales coming in. I woke up this morning to some additional sales, and then there's been sales periodically over the course of the day. And I want to say thank you to each and every person that has placed an order. I also want to give a shout out to Martin. Martin is a Patreon member that reached out to me because he wanted to buy some things from regiecollects.com, and he is in Sweden. And he knows that I don't ship internationally, but we had a back and forth about possibly shipping to Sweden. And lo and behold, I was able to make some magic happen for him. And what I realized is that my wife's discount at FedEx is incredible. It is an incredible discount at FedEx. We were able to ship a nice amount of stuff. It was 3.5 pounds of merchandise to Sweden for like 50 some odd dollars. And that actually has now opened the door for me to maybe start shipping things internationally for folks. I don't know what the cost will be ultimately until I actually go to a FedEx and key in the information and all that kind of stuff, because I cannot do an estimate at home. But today we went from a $220 shipping fee to basically 50 some odd dollars, which is an incredible savings. So what I will say to people is, if you are international and if you are interested in getting a copy of the guide, I want to encourage you to head over to regiecollects.com, make your purchase, and we will make some magic happen. And what I mean by that is that the site is going to charge you a certain amount for shipping. Before I actually ship your item, you're going to have to send me the difference via PayPal. So we're going to have to trust one another that that's going to happen, because I'm going to front the money. You're going to pay me back via PayPal, and I'm going to ship your item to you in whatever country you happen to be in. And fingers crossed that we can keep the cost relatively reasonable. But I at least wanted to extend that. Shout out to Martin for putting me in a position to investigate that. So I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about that before we got going. So possible news for Hydra for Luke. That's what's up. So as I alluded to at the top of the show, it seems like distribution has been disrupted. Distribution of the comic book supply chain has been disrupted due to a ransomware attack that kept a website down, kept people from basically placing orders with Diamond. And this happened, I do believe, on Sunday. And here is what actually was issued by Diamond. It says, as many of you know, we are currently experiencing system issues affecting our order processing and communications. Our IT department and team of third-party experts are working around the clock to address these issues and restore full operations. We've determined that the systems issues we're experiencing are the results of a ransomware attack. These attacks have unfortunately become increasingly pervasive in recent months, impacting organizations around the world. We want to assure you that customer data and financial information is not stored in our network, and as such, we have no reason to believe it has been impacted by this attack. In addition to the investigation underway, our team of third-party forensic experts, for anytime you can throw in third-party forensic expert, and if you can even string them together, it sounds so official, have been notified, or they have notified law enforcement. While some of our systems remain down, rest assured we are continuing to ship product and fulfill orders to the greatest extent that we can. And there are some other things around here around thanking people for their patience. But needless to say, this has had some impact on comic shop's ability ability to actually place orders in time for the final order cutoff. It also, of course, affected their ability to ship things out to people. So you may be in a part of the country that is experiencing some outages for your LCS, getting things like comics from Dark Horse, Boom, and Image Comics. Those are three of the main publishers that are still with Diamond at this point. So again, wanted to bring that information to you guys. Let me go to the chat real quick. Well done. Well done. Let me see. Third party, did Diamond hire? See, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I think that was what Toad was just saying here a second ago. So yeah, man, they got hit with the ransomware attack. I don't know whether they paid the money, right? Because that's part of it, is that we're gonna hold you hostage until we get some cash. I don't know, but Diamond has been impacted, and it sounds like, as of a message that I saw on the Twitter machine, it seems like they are somewhat up and running at this point. This is from Comicron 2 hours ago. It says Diamond still recovering from a ransomware attack, announced to retailers that Wednesday's comics will be arriving over the next 2 to 4 days throughout the country. On November 17th, orders continue to be picked and packed, with reorders resuming in the next 48 to 72 hours. So that seems to be the latest and greatest from those guys. Fingers crossed that they get their operations back up and running and can keep moving forward. Black Comic Characters, my man, how you doing, Donald? It's good to see you. Says, yeah, my LCS was affected by that. He's down in Georgia, and I'm guessing that there's others out there. What is that? I've been asking for an X-Men video for months. Thanks for the TikTok. Or you can just look at the wall behind me. Or you can it's all the same. It's all the same. It all works out to be the same. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with this. It says the sooner Diamond goes down, the sooner we can order Boom, Dark Horse from a different. I can't endorse that. And the reason that I can't, I'm gonna be honest with you, Thor, is that they still employ a healthy number of people at their now 2 distribution centers. So I don't want to wish those people, especially those that are located in Baltimore, actually lose their job. I think that also Diamond is maybe moving in a different direction. I need to do some research on this, but I think they recently purchased a third-party grading company, not for comics, but for other collectibles. I don't know how that folds into some of the other things that they are doing. I don't know how that affects the bottom line or any of that other kind of stuff, but there you go. What is that? Still some issues on the website. I'm still not able to download the PDF of the order form for November 18th. Yeah, they were saying that they have been able to restore some, but not all of the functionality, Shadow. So fingers crossed that they are able to get themselves back up and running. There's a comment here from Latif that the local library is still shut down from a cyber attack. I'm going to be honest with you. I think these people need to find something better to do with their time. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think they need to find something better to do with their time, something constructive, something constructive that actually helps the world and doesn't necessarily take down, small businesses, whether you're talking about Diamond or the LCS, and certainly important institutions like libraries and stuff like that. Juggernaut, it's good to see you, brother. Welcome, welcome. My LCS, JAF. Was empty. The shelves were bare. The cupboard, I think you have to say the cupboard was bare. Clyde is given an acknowledgement here that Maryland has been impacted, which kind of sort of makes sense. Definitely a sad day. Definitely a sad day. Eternal Thunder is chiming in there as well. Again, I just happened to see this as I was getting ready to come on camera here. So there you go. Where there is a will, there is a way. There is still an opportunity to score some good books out there. So I will tell you, I did not make it to my LCS today. I did not make it to the LCS today. Today was a stupid, crazy day, full of work and all that kind of stuff. And then my boy we have private soccer coach. We just started up, and by private soccer coach, we're talking about a high school student that is being recruited for college teams. We hired him. He comes here. This was the first session that he had with my son, but it's a way to get my boy some exercise, put some money in this kid's pocket, and prevent me from having to injure myself as I go out there and attempt to catch and kick balls with my boy. So I still do that, let's be honest, but it's nice to have a little bit of assistance. So I will show you guys some of the books that I picked up last week because I did make it to the LCS over the weekend. So I picked up Primordial issue number 2 right there. I am looking forward to reading this one. Issue number 1 I thought was pretty well done. I'm hoping that one is good. A title that I've been reading that I thought got a little weird. It got a little weird. around issue 3. And then issue 4 happened, and it went left. It went left in a super weird way. If you've read The Me You Love in the Dark, this Joker is creepy. That is the best way I can describe it. It is creepy. Let me tell you. I mean, it's a good read first, but it's a creepy read. So let's just say that I don't know where this thing is gonna go. But in issue 3, it went left, and it has continued to like veer left hardcore. So picked up this one, Moth, just because I'm a fan of AWA and some of the things that they're doing over there. So I went ahead. This is issue number 5 of Moths. Definitely a cool cover. Definitely a cool cover. I'm not sure who the artist is, but that's a cool cover. I picked this one up out. I read this one actually already. Definitely a cool read. But I went ahead and snagged a copy of this. This one is about vampires. It's set in history, and like I think it's World War II. So it's kind of a cool read. And then the last one that I'm going to show you that I have not read. This, I think, comes from Vault. This Hungry Earth reddens under snow-clad hills. I don't know what this is about. The Hungry Earth and then the redden part. I mean, I was captivated by the extremely long title of this one. So we're gonna read this one and see what this is about. I don't know if you guys read it, but if you did, let me know. If you made it to your LCS today and you picked up some comics, let me know what it is you picked up. If you want to shout out your LCS, go ahead and do that as well. And if you happen to read a story, if you happen to read a book that was a really good book that we should put on the top of our stacks, I want to know that as well. So I'm going to go to the chat here in a hot second. I will tell you guys, I put out on the Instagram, a quick Q&A thing. A few people submitted some questions, so I'm going to respond to those questions here momentarily, and certainly I'll be responding to some additional questions in the chat. So Mass Snow, how you doing, brother? He said nothing, but we'll pick up my stuff on Friday. Did pick up 3 copies of Moon Knight 3, the Walmart variant. That's what's up. Shadow picked up House of Slaughter number 1, HOS, the 1 in 10 red foil variant. What is that? Purple foil intermix variant, Spawn 323, King Spawn, Gunslinger 1. There you go. Mark picked up some good. It is an incredible. I said that to the guy in the shop. I was like, is it me or are these titles getting longer? And he was like, no, it is not just you. But I'm like, hey, go for it. If it's a long title and it's good, hey, get after it. Where'd that comment go? Mark says picked up Pennyworth, Savage Avengers, Beyond the Black River. He picked up Out 2. There you go. A couple of other books there. Ordinary Gods, Venom 1. Let me see. Phil Tastic says, I can't read The Me You Love in the Dark. We had a problem when we Hey, say no more. Say no more, sir. Okay? Say no more. You clearly have been traumatized. So we're not going to talk about that. L. Smith, he picked up Alien 8, ASM 78, Batman the Imposter, issue number 2, Black Manta 3. I've been reading Black Manta digitally. It's pretty good. Hellions, a couple of other books there. Pennyworth, Savage Avengers. You and Mark have some similarities there. Scrolling through some comments here. Oh, Tina, I got all the Gunslinger Spawn 1 variants just because I could. Well done, Tina. Well done. What is that? Regie, the title is The Rush for That Long. Wait a minute. The title is The Rush. I got you. Now I got it. Okay. So is that actually the title, or is it the full thing, or is that just the shortened version? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna read it. I'm going to enjoy it. Fingers crossed that I do. Scrolling through through some of the comments here. Kevin picked up Static Shock, Miles Morales, a really high grade copy of Marvel Premiere 47. That's what's up. Congrats on that. Shout out to Liberty Comics. There we go. First shout out that I've read so far. Good stuff. Scrolling through. There you go. Yep, there you go. Give us a little bit of both worlds, right? So I'm scrolling through. You guys are having a robust conversation. Yes, indeed it is. Mark, it is. It's getting very dark. It's getting very creepy. It started off kind of cute, maybe a little romantic. Then it got creepy. Scrolling down, Hell Rider #1. He now has both 1 and 2. Shout out to Reggie A. Picked it up, that Hell Rider. I think, was it Chuck or Mark that also picked up Hell Rider, or may already have? I can't remember. It was one of you guys. One of you guys. Hydra's throwing up a question here. Would you give up every copy of ASM minus issue 1 and 2 for mid-grade AF-15? I keep debating this idea, but if I'm on, would I give up every copy of ASM minus issue 1 and 2? I would probably do it. I probably do it, to be honest with you. I probably pull that trigger. Because a mid-grade copy of AF-15 is not chump change. That is not chump change, right? And so in my head, I'm thinking to myself, I would never spend that kind of money. Like, I would have to really wrap my mind around dropping, I don't even know what the number is. What is it, like 60K, 90K for like a mid-grade? Versus going back out and little by little being able to pick up the issues that I've given up of Amazing Spider-Man, right? If I keep 1 and 2, I would prioritize the rest and maybe go back and maybe get 1 through 50, and then a couple of sporadic ones after that. That might be how I would do it. But a mid-grade copy of AF-15, that's a tough one right there. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the confirmation, Mark. Could not remember which of you gentlemen had that. Matt Snow was like, easy AF-15. No, I'm telling you, that's a beast. That's a beast right there. Yep. Again, I gave you guys my natural reaction to the question that was asked, and now you're seeing other people like, yep, kind of sort of agree with that. Even if they don't agree, I think everyone kind of looks at these things a little bit differently. So, scrolling through some of the comments here, surprised it took Reggie so long to build the collection. I don't even know what is the context of that. Let me see. I was scrolling through some of the comments here. Yep. I'm glad Donald was here for you when you said that, Reggie. I'm glad he was here to be able to hear that, because a lot of credit is due to him. His original Instagram post that he put up, as well as him talking on the show a couple of weeks ago about it, I think has inspired not just you, but a few other people to go out and actually look for that book. And that's one of the really cool things I think about having different guests on, bringing their different perspectives to the show. I think that's what's really cool about some of this stuff. So scrolling through, I think I'm all caught up. And we will go back to Q&A here. So bear with me. Again, it helps if you throw it up in all caps, helps me to be able to see it. One thing that I want to do real quick is I want to acknowledge a charity thing. I want to acknowledge a charity thing that is actually going down. A1 Comics is doing a charity live sale. This is actually taking place November 19th from 5 to 8 p.m. And the proceeds, I do believe, I thought it was 100%. I could be off about that. But it says here, a portion of the proceeds go directly to St. Jude. And then at the bottom here, oh, there you go. So featuring an original art auction from Ron Lim, with 100% of the art proceeds going to St. Jude, because I thought I saw 100% somewhere. But A1 Comics is a comic shop in the Sacramento Bay Area of San Francisco, technically. They're doing this auction on the 19th. You can check them out on Instagram at A1 Comics. So there you go. That is my public service announcement for the day. Squirrel Madness is asking a question. Reggie, surprised you would give up your ASM run, feeling it was a major goal. It was a major goal, but here's the thing. What he did not say is that I had to give up even my doubles and triples of some of the comics. He did not say that, because I do have doubles and triples of some of the books. But again, I think the thing is when I take a step back from it, I think my logic, of course, is that I would probably never fork over the kind of money that it would take to get AF-15 mid-grade. I would probably never be able to like hand over that amount of money versus potentially spending that same amount of money, if not more, but doing it over time, book by book, in a prioritized fashion. You know what I'm saying? Combined with the doubles, combined with the fact that I now have AF-15 mid-grade, which of course is going to go up in value. I still have ASM1, ASM2. Like there's a method to my madness, if you will. So appreciate you, brother, as well. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Brandon is jumping in here saying, Oh, wait a minute, hold on. What did that's one? Picked up Canto 3, Lion Hearted, ASM 78, the Thing variant with the Doom mask. That's what's up. A couple of other books. What is this? Wait, Reggie is cheating if we're giving us see. No, 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 no. They're I pay attention to the words that are uttered. I pay attention. I also did not hear that I had to give up my copy of AF-15, which could also be sold to recover some of those books. It also does not include the double copy of ASM-1 that I have that would also be sold. There is a method to my madness, people. As I listen to the words that are being uttered, I'm always strategizing. Scrolling through, I think I'm all caught up real quick. So for those folks that came in a little late, one of the first things I talked about is that Diamond has been the victim of a ransomware attack. This actually went down on Sunday, and it impacted their communication systems, their ordering portals. It prevented LCSs from being able to get their orders in time for the final order cutoff, which of course has downstream effects to Diamond being able to actually ship books out to people in a timely manner. So I think that they seem to be, as an organization, still recovering, still bringing systems online. Fingers crossed that they are able to fully recover in the next several days and can get things back on track. All right, so there you go. I do occasionally talk to a lawyer because they come in handy. Juggernaut is saying that my unhappy video was solid. Thank you, man. You know, I'm gonna be honest, and I think I mentioned this in the video. That the phrasing for happiness is not in the next box has essentially been on my whiteboard across the room for quite some time. It was in my head, it was on the board, and part of what maybe inspired me to record the video. If you haven't watched the video, I definitely encourage you to watch the video. But what may have sparked the thought to get me off my duff to record the video was I saw a clip on Instagram. And the clip was a guy that was being interviewed, and he said, you know, money can buy you a house, but not a home. Money can buy you a watch, but not time. And he had a few other examples like that. And for some reason or another, when I heard that, it connected some dots for my wall about, you know, what is happiness. And we cannot find happiness in like the pursuit of things. Sometimes happiness is being content with what it is that we have and taking the time to appreciate what it is that we possess instead of looking for the next thing. So somehow I connected these weird dots, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just get this out. I sat down, I ripped the video, I edited the video, and then I got it scheduled, and that was it, you know. And I did not know how people were going to take that video. I did not know how people were going to take it. But I'm thankful that people seem to it seemed to resonate with people, which I think is really cool. So James Tomlinson, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. He said he picked up Venom, the Black Manta static today. It was a rightful thirst for vengeance. There you go. That's what's up. I appreciate you coming through, brother. It is good to see you. That's a very interesting thumbnail that you have going on there. Scrolling through the comments here. Unhappiness is such a good video. One of Reggie's best. Thank you, man. I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. You know, there's always that balance, of course, of not being preachy and that kind of stuff, you know, but trying to you know, share what's in my head and to share my thoughts and to put it out there and to have it resonate with people in a meaningful way. I think that that's kind of cool. So because it doesn't always happen, but you know, thank you, brother. Thank you, Tina. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through. All right. I think I'm all caught up. So we talked about Diamond. We talked about A1. The next thing I want to talk about, and I will get to some Q&A questions that were submitted on Instagram. For some reason or another, I've been seeing little tidbits of things over the course of the last few days about possibly Superman going away, right? There are people that are like, the new son of basically Clark Kent is going to replace replace Superman. They're going to kill Superman off like they did back in the 90s. There are some things that have come out as of, I want to say maybe today, that are are somewhat disputing parts of what has been uttered. And so you can see here that Superman fans assured there is no shady backdoor corporate plan to replace the Man of Steel at DC. The writer Phillips Johnson has basically, I think he issued a tweet that says, "I won't betray you," and he is specifically talking to fans of Clark, who again have believed for some reason or another that DC was going to permanently replace Superman with his son or something like that. So there, let me see if I can find it here. He says, "I've been hearing from a lot of Superman fans who are scared by all the recent speculation that War Worlds is part of some shady backdoor corporate plan to replace Clark Kent as Superman." He says, "To those fans, I don't know how to ease your worry without spoiling what's coming, and I can't do that, but I love Clark Kent as much as you do. Keep reading, and I promise I won't betray you. Superman is forever." And so this is an article that was actually found on Newsarama, which is a website that I actually like for information. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. And to some degree or another, I feel like this is in the vein of people getting upset thinking that they are going to replace the men in X-Men, right? So it'll be something that is not the X-Men. This is just one of those things. I don't know if any of these things are ever true versus some rumor, some speculation that has essentially just gotten out of control. To get rid of Superman would be a mistake. To get rid of men and X-Men because it says the word men and is not like 100% inclusive would be a mistake, right? And in some ways flies in the face of what it is that that the X-Men, for example, actually stand for. So it's just weird. It's just wood. Hold on. Hold on here. Joe is like, check it out. Check it out. If DC replaces him, I am becoming a Marvel fan only. You know what? I respect it. I respect it. I don't think that they're stupid. I mean, like, that's like replacing Spider-Man. That's like permanently replacing Spider-Man for some weird reason. I mean, it would be silly. It would be a huge mistake. Very true. Every character dies. I applauded Jonathan Hickman for something that he tried to do, which is, we're not going to kill off characters for the sake of killing them off just to make sales. We're going to tell better stories. I actually applaud that, right? I mean, I think he's now off of the X-Men, so who knows what's going to happen now. But to your point, man, they die, they come back. We miss them when they're gone, and we celebrate them when they come back, right? It's just part of all of it. So scrolling through some of the comments here. Yeah, I remember that. He died, then they made him blue. Didn't they also make him red as well? They made him bad, they made him good, they made him Russian. I mean, it's just another form of storytelling, So what is that? Well done. All right. So that was one of the other things that has been floating out there that I wanted to talk about ever so briefly. The next thing that I want to get into, and again, we're probably going to go to maybe Q&A here in a hot second. But one of the other things that I wanted to touch on very briefly is, I don't know if you folks have seen the Eternals movie. It seems like the critics didn't necessarily care for the movie, but then there's a lot of people that have seen the movie that seem to really enjoy it. So I'm very curious as to what you all think about the Eternals movie. If you happen to see it, this is actually from Variety. It says Eternals didn't dazzle at the box office, but Marvel should not be worried. This article goes on to talk about the fact that, again, it kind of sort of underperformed. Disney's superhero adventure Eternals debuted to $71 million at the domestic box office, a tally that would be labeled a disappointment in the blockbuster Marvel Cinematic Universe. It highlights here that Marvel movies rarely miss at the box office. All 26 movies have opened at number one in North America, and many recent installments, pre-pandemic, of course, have ultimately brought in $1 billion. So Eternals did not do as well as they hoped that it would do. Black Widow, if you guys remember, brought in $80 million plus $60 million with Disney Plus. Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, brought in $75 million. And so what is this? Let There Be Carnage actually brought in $90 million. So This is a little bit behind, but again, $71 million is no small amount of money. I honestly do not know how much was production was or the marketing effort was behind this thing. But again, 71 million is not bad. And maybe I should finish reading the rest of the article, but I at least wanted to flag that for you guys. I know that some people have seen the movie. I know that others are planning to see the movie. And again, if you guys are in the chat right now, if you've taken a look at the movie and seen it, let me know what your thoughts are. If you have some, let me see. Kevin's like, I'm waiting on Disney Plus. Hey, brother, that's what I did with Black Widow. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it on my sofa, which we just bought. If the Eternal movie plot was coherent, then it should have been considered a victory because the comic. Oh my goodness. Well done, sir. I did not know where you were going with that comment, Ron. But I salute you, sir, for sticking the landing on that one. you gotta give it up for when they're really good right there. So what is that? Toad says, I saw 3 full families leave, not even midway through. Wow. Let me see. Yeah, I did see that. I think that Shang-Chi is actually dropping on November 15th. I'm actually looking forward to that. Looking forward to it. So did it? That's a lot of money. Ooh. Angelina Jolie had to cost a nice chunk of that. That's a lot of money. So yeah, I mean, in comparison to that, but again, what has it been? 1 week since it was released. My guess is that they're going to make up some ground. They're going to do something international, hopefully to claw back most, if not all of that. So we'll have to see how it actually plays out. I think it finished 4th, Kevin. I think it came in 4th. Was it the Clifford Big Red Dog that came out? I think that may have what. Let me see if I can find it here in the thing. I scanned through like 4 different articles, and I can't remember which one had some of the details. So I'm scrolling through real quick to see if I can actually find it. And it does not say. It does not say in this particular article where they actually placed. What is that? Philtastic says, I think Hollywood has been eager to jump on the death of the MCU. Many high-profile directors and actors resent DC for taking up space in theaters. Yeah, that's true. I can't disagree with that. Can't disagree with that. So, that's a good. So there's a comment here from Matt Snow. He says, I think Disney messed up with using too many stars for Eternals. Doomed from the get-go, he says. We'll see again. Some of the folks that have seen it, I thought they seemed to enjoy it, but it'll be interesting. What I think. I don't always agree with people. Like, I watched Black Widow. I thought Black Widow was fine. Thought it was a good movie. Taskmaster didn't bother me at all. I actually enjoyed it. And the door is not closed on the real Taskmaster actually coming in at some point in the future. That's, again, one of the great things about comics. Everybody dies. Everybody has a doppelganger and all that other good stuff. There you go. Matt's filling in some gaps right there. So maybe it's 4th now for wherever it is in its release. So let's go. Hey, brother. Just last night, I was laying in my daughter's bed reading Clifford the Little Red Dog. Okay, no, Clifford the Little Red Puppy. So Clifford's big, brother, and pun intended. Clifford is big. Let me see. I was scrolling through. A lot of people did not think that. A lot of people did not think that Black Widow was solid. A lot of people did not think that Venom was solid, and it just goes to show that you gotta watch it for yourself, make up your own mind. And again, what I say is, if I watched it and I was entertained, then that definitely is a win for me, because that's all that I'm looking for, is a little bit of entertainment. So let me go to some of the Q&A that was submitted in, and again, I'll go to the chat here as well to see whether there's questions, and if you have them, thrown up in all caps, because it actually helps me to be able to see it a little bit better. So there were a couple of questions that were actually submitted. And one of the questions was, where do you shop for shipping supplies to save money? What I would say to you is, I don't know if there are any places to actually save money on shipping supplies. So what I would say is, when it comes to shipping supplies, I tend to ship United States Postal Service. And because I use United States Postal Service, I actually use their boxes. I use their medium flat rate box. And because of that, that's actually free. I do it. Well, technically, my wife orders it for me online. It shows up here at the house. I make use of it. That's super free. That's free. Bubble wrap. We actually buy bubble wrap at Business Costco. It is less expensive, I do believe, at the Business Costco than what you might get at like Home Depot or something like that. So I go to Business Costco, I pick that up there. That's relatively inexpensive. I tend to also buy things in bulk, right? So if I buy bubble wrap, I try to buy a lot of it. That doesn't save me much, but it saves me from running out. It saves me from having to make multiple trips to the store. When it comes to some of my boxes, I actually use Gemini mailers. I use a lot of them. I bought hundreds of Gemini mailers, which reduced my cost. And I did this also because I didn't want to ever run out. So I like have boxes and boxes of those. And then I've also been using, as of late, this company right here, Reptilian Overlord. This guy actually sent me some of his boxes, and they're similar to Gemini boxes, but they are for a handful of comics, a nice bundle of comics, all the way up to slabs. And so he has a couple of different size boxes, and they're pretty nice. They are pretty nice. I will tell you that. Reptilian Overlord, you can actually find him online and then also on Instagram as well. So I've had these sitting around for a while. If you've ordered something from me recently, you may have actually received a Reptilian Overlord box, because I've been experimenting with them, trying to figure out the weights and the dimensions and what I can get in there and what I can't get in there. So I've been playing around with it. And then what else can I tell you about shipping? Postage is the most expensive thing, of course, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And I do that directly through PayPal, which is now Ship something or another. They sold it off to a separate arm or something like that. There's a video here on the channel. If you search for Regie Collects Postage or Regie Collects Shipping, you should find a series of videos on some of that stuff. So hopefully that question around shipping supplies, Kid from AZ, has been addressed. All right. There's a question here about what my personal grail is. Hulk One, that's comic book aficionado. Hulk One is the personal grail, and probably the grail of many other people out there as well. Superman and Doomsday versus Thor and Sentry, who wins? I am going to go out on a limb and say Thor and Sentry, because I can't see Superman and Doomsday getting along, and the Sentry is incredibly dope. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it is going to be Marvel. Shocker, probably for all the DC people out there. What are some of your inspirations for building a community? I don't know. I don't know what my what I would say is, I don't know that I've looked at someone and decided that I was going to build a community like them. I think that my inspiration comes from the anecdotal stories that find their way to me from members of the community that surround the channel. And for example, just tonight, I've been told that there are some people that are coming to GarageCon that are actually coming into town early so that they can meet with each other and have dinner before GarageCon. To me, that is inspirational. That is a cool thing for me to hear, that people are coming together. When I hear about people talking on the phone outside of the channel, like they're just chatting on the phone about comics, that is a win. When people show up to live streams 30 minutes before the live stream starts, that inspires me to do more, right? Those are the things that I think motivate me. I don't know that there was ever a person where I was like, that person has built a wonderful community, let me see if I can do that. No, it's been more like, hey, I want to talk about comics. I don't have people in my life that want to talk about comics with me. So let me start talking to the internet about comics. And then people comment, and I'm like, boom, let's talk to this person. Let's talk to that person. I think that's part of the reason why whenever somebody puts up a comment, posts a comment, whatever platform, I tend to respond to it, because that to me is about community. That's why I'm doing it, is to have that connection with people. And that's part of the fun of it. So hopefully that answers the question. And those were, I think, the only questions that had been received before I went online. And again, I am going to go to the chat here in a hot second. So if you guys do have questions you want to throw up, put it in all caps. Yep. So I'm all good. All right. Let me see. Who is that? Mass Snow says, excited to meet everyone in person. Says GarageCon will be epic. I did see someone talk about GarageCon, and I think Tina answered it. If you are interested in attending GarageCon, you basically head over to regiecollects.com. There is a page set up for GarageCon. In the third chevron, third drop down, it says, what's the address? If you click that, there is a registration link. You go ahead, you key in some information, you take a photo of your ID, you send that to me via the form. I then send you the address with some additional notes and commentary. So there you go. I'm envious of GarageCon goers still trying to talk Reggie into postponing it today. Yeah, that's not going to happen, sir. That's not going to happen. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Yeah, man, I am I continue to be humbled by it. Like, like I don't know that you can intentionally set out to do that. You know, maybe you can. Maybe you can. I mean, to me, it's been more of a, I want to build connections with people that allow me to talk about comics in a safe environment, and we get along, and people can disagree but not be disagreeable. Like it's built up just out of my desire to connect with people. And then the wonderful thing is that all of the connections that other people have made because I do YouTube, I think that that's really cool. I really do. And all of you guys, I think, are responsible for that. It's not just me. It's you all as well, investing your time and being willing to open yourselves up to other people and be receptive. This is actually something I was going to talk about. So thank you, brother. Thank you for this. So, yes, I think that trading is fine. If you guys want to bring comics and trade, get after it, man. Just have fun, right? At the end of the day, have fun. What I will say to you is, you're at my house, so just behave yourself, right? Let's not take photos of the house, and let's not send out the address and any of that crazy stuff. But I want people to come. I want people to feel comfortable. I want people to have a good time. But never lose sight of the fact that you're actually at my house with my family, and I'm extending myself, right? So just be mindful of those things in my my privacy, and the fact that my children and wife are here, right? So they may be hiding, but just remember that. And my other family is going to be here. My brother will be here helping out. One of my sisters will be on site, and then my parents are also going to be here as well, lending me a hand. I honestly don't know how many people are ultimately going to show up, right? It may honestly just be an intimate gathering of a handful of people. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm quite comfortable with that. GarageCon is not about bringing together masses of people. It's about bringing together some folks that want to be there, that want to hang out, meet one another, hang out with me, talk a little bit about comics in the channel and all that kind of stuff. That's what this is about. And so regardless of how many people show up, we are going to have a good time. Scrolling through some of the comments here. I, uh, I, I hope not. I hope not. I don't need people sleeping in my bushes, brother. Scrolling through. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. And so just so you know, the gates for GarageCon will open up around 9 o'clock. The gates will open up. You will have to show ID. I know that some folks are coming with other people, like wives and all that kind of stuff. So just be prepared to talk to my brother, or talk to me. I don't know who's going to be welcoming people, but just be prepared to show your ID, because we just want to make sure we know who's there and all that kind of stuff. If you arrive before the gates open, just park outside the gate along my fence line in the grass, not in the road. Pull off into the grass. There should be plenty of room. If you are a Patreon member, I'm probably going to give you early access, just because you are a Patreon member, and some of you are actually traveling from pretty far away. So if you are a Patreon member, just be on the lookout for me. I'll be out there somewhere, and more than likely I will recognize most of you guys. So scrolling through the comments here. Scrolling through the comments. Again, if you guys have questions, throw it up in all caps and we will get after it. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. And again, huge shout out, man. Huge shout out to everybody that has picked up a copy of the Guide to Smart Comic Book Collecting. We are doing pretty well with this book. I will tell you that. I think that the price point that we set for the book I think was the right price point. I think that, me doing videos and me appearing on somebody else's channel on Instagram just yesterday has helped kind of keep the sales going. One thing that I did want to mention that I mentioned at the top of the show is that I am opening things up for international. If you are international and you are interested in picking up a copy of the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting, go ahead and purchase it via the website. And what's going to happen is the site's going to charge you $7 for shipping. And what'll happen is I will mail your book out to you via FedEx at a discounted rate. I don't know how much it's going to be, but it should be about a 75% discount off of what FedEx costs. And what I'll do is I'm actually going to pay for the book to be sent to you, but I'm going to send you a message and be like, hey, here's the difference. What you pay, the $7 minus the shipping, I need you to send that to me. We're going to be on the honor system that people will send that money to me and ultimately they will get their book. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there. So scrolling through the comments here. I think I'm actually getting a porta potty, brother. I think I'm going to rent a porta potty. I'm trying to take accounts here as we get a little bit closer of how many people we're talking about. And if the number is a sensible number, then I won't get a porta potty. If it's a little bit larger, then I will actually get get a porta potty. So we will see how it all plays out. Scrolling through we are high on the respect. I'm gonna tell you that right there. We are high on the respect scale. So yeah, scrolling through there you go. Yeah, man, it was always good to see you, brother, when you were able to make it out to GarageCon when I lived in Cali. I think you still had a little bit of a drive even then, but I definitely appreciate you being able to roll out and check things out. So scrolling through, yeah, man, I know you. Okay, there's a lot. What's cool is that a lot of the Patreon members I know, like I know your face. You've been part of Patreon for a while. I have your mailing address and all that kind of stuff. So it's not too much for Patreon members, again, because I know most of you and have met a healthy number of you actually face to face. So you guys will have no problem. And did you send me your ID? I think you did when you register. I think you did. Scrolling through, there you go. Oh, so the other thing is that if you do show up at GarageCon, we are going to have hard copies of the guide at GarageCon. And if you guys are interested, we will be signing those books. The first prints that will be rolling off will be signed at GarageCon. I don't know if we're going to do raw copies sold later on the website. It gets a little complicated when you start doing some of that other stuff. But for the moment, what I'm saying is if you are at GarageCon, you buy a book, you want it to be signed, both Doug and I will be there to sign it. I have markers that I bought a couple of weeks ago sitting across the room. And to Joe's point, you also will not have to pay shipping. So scrolling through the comments, no, they are not. No, we are not doing any golf cart rides. We're not doing any of that, sir. Actually, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably pull the golf cart and the John Deere out of the garage. That way we can have a little bit more room inside the garage. Right across from the garage is we have a concrete pad. So I may set up a tent out there. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to do. But we may have like, the go long box hunting out there, right? And then people can kind of socialize inside the garage where it may be a little bit warmer. People would be able to, from that vantage point, be able to see the 100K collection. And no one will be hunting inside the 100K collection, but you will be able to see it from a distance. So what's funny is that I had a guy here that was doing some work for me, right? And I'm sitting in my office chair, which is right over there. And I'm looking out the window and I'm like, this guy is about to go pee behind a tree. Like I'm watching him. And I know what he's doing. And he's looking for a spot where he can go where somebody can't see him, but I'm looking right at him and he doesn't know this. And so he tries to get out of my side gate out of the property. And he can't because it's locked, right? And so I open my window and I'm like, what you looking for? what you looking for? And so he's like, I needed, and I'm like, dude, just come in the house. So I had him come in the house. He went to the bathroom, but I'm like, you can't just go pee behind a bush, man. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. So again, we may end up doing porta potty. We didn't do that before at GarageCon. But again, if a reasonable a number of people show up, I will get a porta potty. It's relatively inexpensive. So if you are interested in coming, make sure you register, because I'm trying to make plans for certain things, like whether I get the regular porta potty or the deluxe porta potty. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest with you, but the deluxe was kind of nice. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Am I buying? I am not. I haven't bought any as of late, because a lot of what they've been releasing has been a little bit of like some nonsense stuff that I'm not quite interested in, to be honest with you. They've moved away from like comics that I'm interested in, like Silver Age, Golden Age type of comics, to some other things that I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you for that. So I haven't bought anything probably in maybe a month or something like that. It's been a while. So scrolling through some of the comments here. I'm bringing the Jeep. Matt Wood says, I'm bringing the Jeep. If people want off-road rides, we can make that happen. They do. They do. That's why you never shake hands with a contractor. That's all I'm saying to you. The deluxe smells like it better. It better. There was a nice little price difference between the two. It was a little bigger. It was a little bigger. It was gray versus the traditional blue porta potty that you're looking, Oh man, GC 2001. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate it. Scrolling through the comments. All right. So one of the other things that I wanted to make mention of is that if you guys are looking to save yourself a couple of bucks on various things, like literally every week, somebody asks me what it is that I use to hang the comics that are on the wall behind me. It never fails. I think Tina counted 1 week where somebody has not asked that question. But on my website, I'm actually going to go here right now on regiecollects.com. There is a partner page. And on this partner page are a bunch of discounts and links and things like that. So you can see I am a CGC affiliate. There's a link there for that. I don't do a whole lot with affiliates, to be honest with you, but CGC is CGC. There's a link for Shortbox where you can download the app. BCW has a discount code here. So you click the link, you use my code, which is essentially my name, to save yourself 10%. There's all kinds of other things here, but collector mount is what I use. You can see here that by using Regie Collects, you can save 15%. You click the link, you go to the site, you plug in the information, you're good. I honestly do not get paid from all of these links. Some of what I do is when somebody sponsors content on the channel, I tend to put up a link because it shows a little bit of love for them, giving me a little bit of love. I do not get paid from all of these, but there are some, like BCW, for example. With CGC, I get credits that I use to get my books graded. And I think that's it. I think those are the only ones that I actually get paid from. Rakuten, I do, but that's very little money. But, well, they're all, never mind. Anyway, those things are there for you if you want to save yourself a few bucks. And again, up at the top, you can actually see links for GarageCon and also for the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. So there you go. All right. Let me go ahead and take that off the screen. They are indeed. I had somebody ask me earlier today whether the mounts have ever damaged a raw comic that I mounted. My answer, of course, was no, because I would never use them again if they damaged my comic. Then another question was whether the comics have ever been damaged based upon the light. The answer was no, because if it had, then I would never display my comics. So thankfully, I have not experienced any kind of damage or any of that other kind of stuff. So Matt Wood, shout out to you, brother. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta love it. You gotta love it every single week. I'm gonna come out with my own comic mount. I'm gonna come out with my own comic mount so I can just say, you want to know how to hang these comics on the wall? Go to regiecollects.com and you can get it there. That's how I'm just gonna do it right there. So scrolling through, fingers crossed you get them a lot sooner than that, Philtastic, because they were saying to me that they I think they were saying that they're working through some of their back issue back order issues. So fingers crossed that you're able to get your stuff a lot sooner than that. I will tell you, I buy my stuff in bulk, man. I get the 1,000 count boxes for silver and modern comics. It lasts a while, right? You got to buy the bags individually, but yeah, that's one drawback. They don't seem to sell the bags in bulk the way that they do the backing boards. I'm not quite sure why that's the case, but it is what it is. So use Velcro, command strips, indeed. And when I talked to Bill, who is the guy that makes these things, he told me that he actually uses command strips, and it allows him to move things around a lot quicker. For these, because I have kids, because I have now dogs and stuff like that, because I had a sword leaning up against them, I actually use drywall screws. Plus, it's a fake wall, so I don't really care about the holes and stuff like that. So, scrolling. Hey, where do you think my comics to go boxes came from, my friend? You got to do what you got to do. If I invest the money in trying to develop a thing from scratch, man, I deserve it. I deserve it. All right. Anyway, I am going to talk dirty to me. Ooh, let's stare at that for a moment, shall we? Joey Stuntmaster. Let's just stare at that for a moment. Anyway, I honestly am looking forward to meeting folks during GarageCon. So if you are planning to attend, make sure that you register so that I can get you the address and all that kind of stuff. I want to thank everybody who showed up for this live stream to hang out with me a little bit. We still have one more video to be released this week. It is an emotional unboxing. It is an emotional unboxing that will be released tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to all of the vets that are in the room and also those that are watching this on replay right now. Shout out to each and every one of you. Let's just say that tomorrow's video is dedicated to you all. So I definitely want to encourage all of you to check that out. Earlier this week, we released, I think, two awesome videos that if you have not seen them, I definitely want to encourage you guys to check those out. All right. With that said, we're going to wrap this up. As always, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram. I am not too hard to find if you actually need me. So make sure you send me a message over there. You can do email, but I prefer Instagram. So go ahead and get you an account if you do not have one. With that said, I will bid you adieu. Take care.